Welcome to Season 3 of the Take the Leap podcast. We want to thank you for being a part of this journey with us.
Whether you're just starting to tune in or you're a longtime listener of the podcast, you can expect to hear from entrepreneurs in all stages of their journey, how they got to where they are, and all the mistakes and victories they've had along the way.
We're excited to share new guests and have some returning folks from our first 2 seasons. Thank you for being here, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back, everyone, to the Take the Leap podcast.
I feel like we get a little goofy.
The longer we breathe.
The longer, yeah.
It works.
Love it.
Yeah, we really wrapped up this season, I feel like, with some of the most interesting conversations.
Yeah.
And so we are recapping our conversation with Christine Manning today. And I think she's the first person we've had on that talked about, with the exception of Michael Jonas, because he did sell Rational Unicorn before he started Narwhal. But that was because of some other things happening in the political sphere. But yeah, Christine, shared with us about selling her business, her previous business, to go into the form of entrepreneurship she's doing now, which is coaching and helping people with mindset. And I just thought that was so interesting because, she walked away from something that from the outside, looked fine, looked like it was doing well, and that she just really didn't feel it anymore, and I think that that's one of the most beautiful things about entrepreneurship is we have so much more choice, right, than we would otherwise. And so yeah, I thought it was, like a really brave thing, and I love that her mission now is helping entrepreneurs get out of that spiral where they're doing things that are no longer aligned with their values, which has been such a big theme. I feel like for this season is just gaining that values alignment and sticking with it as you continue to build, scale, and grow your business. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree with that. And I also just love how it really was like her take the leap moment wasn't necessarily starting a business. It was ending and figuring out what she wanted to do next. And I think that's so powerful. And I agree with you. I mean, like, not all of us are going to end our businesses, but I also think it's a good reminder of like, what am I doing now that's not serving me? What are, excuse me, like came out of nowhere. What are things that I'm doing right now that I don't want to be doing anymore?
Yeah.
And, the way she described it, it wasn't that she like hated her business. Like it was running pretty well, but she wanted to do something different and she wanted to do something else. And so maybe that's not closing your business. Maybe it's pivoting, a little bit, or serving a new audience or doing a new offering. And if your business doesn't bring you joy and you're not excited about it, that might be a sign that like it's time to make a change.
Yeah. If it's not fueling in you what it did when you started, that is definitely means it's time to make a change. And that kind of dovetails really well into this next point that she made, which is that self-trust is one of the most important skills founders can develop, which I think, being business owners, and I'm sure you experience this all the time, is we get advice thrown at us from everywhere. And even to the point that sometimes we don't trust our own gut and our own instincts and the way things are feeling for us to continue doing them. And so I loved what she said about like not letting that erode, because we can take on so many other opinions, other people's opinions, but we don't need to follow through on them, and we don't need to do those things. Like you can still make the choice. And I also feel like sometimes like if somebody has been telling me to do something, over and over and over again, I will stop sharing things with them if if I've already said like thank you and no, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, so I think that we can't let our own intuition and our own what we think be overshadowed by what we're hearing, from others in the market out there.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah. And then I thought a really powerful question that she posed that we can all think about as entrepreneurs is asking ourselves, is this true? Or is it a story I'm telling myself? Which, oh, I
Honestly,
feel like
that
we do
hurt.
that all the, yeah, exactly. That stabbed a little
That
bit
hurt. And not just for business too. Like that is
for
like a
life.
personal thing I need a reminder
Uh-huh.
of all the time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. One, I think we are so, especially if you're like an overanalyzer, which I think many of us are, at least I know I think way too much about things, of like you stew it over in your head and then you don't ever take the action because you've already come up with, oh, that's gonna fail, or oh, that failed there, or oh, that didn't work last time. But then I'm telling this to my clients all the time. Like, that social media post flopped. Try it again. Try it again with a new image. Try it again with a new caption. My strength and weight loss training coach, she has been doing some really awesome video content lately and trying to get like the hooks right on her content. I was like, dude, save the video and like literally 3 months from now, try a different hook.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna remember. And then that way you can test all these different things, because I'm like, your information you're giving it is really valuable, and the keywords that people look for changes. you
Mhm.
know Everybody's into
Also,
like macros right now. So I'm like, use that.
also, like that's such a good point, and just like as a reminder, like for our listeners, like Instagram doesn't work the way it used to. It's not
Right.
like a linear timeline anymore.
Yeah.
People aren't like seeing one post and then seeing the next one and then the next one, right? Like
Hmm.
that's just not how it works anymore. And so you can literally just recycle
Hmm.
the same types of content, but be strategic about it
Hmm.
and do different hooks, say something slightly different. Think about the audience that's going to see it and change it for them specifically, and then change it for another audience. Like it doesn't have to be. I mean, I know it's really easy for us to say that that content doesn't have to be complicated because we do it all,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it also doesn't have to be complicated.
Hmm.
And that's one thing I hope people like when I'm working with them or like they're listening to us having conversations, I hope that's like something that they take away, right? Like
Yeah.
marketing doesn't have to be complicated.
Right. And it also doesn't need to be totally scripted. Like, we
Yeah,
are
I
totally
think that's
unscripted
solid.
in this thing. I mean, we do write down our questions and,
Right. We do our research. We're
structure
prepared.
our
Yeah.
stuff, but like, we're not writing word for word what
No.
is going to be happening today.
If we were super polished, if our podcast was super polished and like produced in like the best, most brand, effective way,
Yeah.
like we would never get this out.
No, no, yeah.
This is a fun project for us.
Yes.
We would never get it out. We would like overanalyze it and
Hmm.
overproduce it, and then it wouldn't be as fun.
It would not be
I
as
just feel like
fun.
I'm not as fun scripted as when I randomly talk about random things. So
Yes. Or we just be all in our head. I think that
yeah,
that's the other thing too. So, yeah. So the moral of the story is, don't let your brain stop you from doing things because you made up a
I like
story about why it won't work.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell that brain to knock it off.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Ozma also said that too, like
I
to
think so.
say really nice things to your stuff in your mirror, like saying your name.
That's right. Oh
I
my gosh.
remember. Can you tell I edited a lot of episodes all in a
Yeah, all the same time. Well, I feel like these last few episodes in particular, I feel like they all kind of like toggled off of each other.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't plan it that way.
We
It
did not plan it that way. It was
was
very
so good.
unintentional. Some of
Yeah,
them were recorded like months apart.
yeah.
So,
It was very serendipitous.
yes, very serendipitous. Also, we intentionally put some things in order because we
Hmm.
like it that way. So,
Hmm.
yeah. Anyways,
I love that.
any other thoughts about our conversation with Christine that you want to share?
It was a really great way to end our guest
Line up.
conversations for this season.
Yeah. Yes. So thank you. Or I guess we'll say that in our finale episode. Thank you to all our guests who hung out with us.
Yeah.
Um,
All of our guests were great.
they were really great. Awesome. All right, Tori, let's go to our favorite part of these solo episodes. What's your
Okay.
win for this week,
My
Gail?
win is that I have a great husband. And I know that's corny, but it's true.
No.
We've had just like such a weird couple of years in terms of life, like throwing things at us, and then like business stuff has been really up and down. And this year has been no exception to like the weirdness of life. But like the one thing that I consistently know is that he always has my back. He's so supportive. He's so sweet. But he also just like pays attention to like what I need when I need it. And it's just so amazing to have a partner who's like in it with me. Like he knows nothing about marketing. He knows nothing about podcasting, but like he will move mountains to get me what I need to show up to for my clients. And I think that is amazing to have a partner who's so supportive. And I say this too because I mean, one, I have a headache today and he brought me a Diet Coke and fries, but also on the other on the other side of this, I have somebody that I've worked with and she was trying to start her business, and her husband and friends and family have just like told her over and over again that they think it's like a really silly idea and that
Hmm.
it's not worth it, and she's
Yeah.
probably not gonna make money off of it, and she's feeling so discouraged
Yep.
because she doesn't have anyone in her corner. And I think that's just really sad. I feel
That
like
is really
you're
sad.
gonna go out and do something that's just so brave. It's such a brave thing to do, and it's also 1,000 times easier to do when you have a partner who goes all in with you and
Hmm.
believes in you and tells you, he doesn't lie to my face either. He's also like, hey, do you think that's realistic, or should we, make some adjustments? Like he's honest with me too.
Hmm.
But he's very supportive, and with anything that I do, work, personal life, whatever. So
Yeah.
anyway, that was my very long-winded way of saying that this week's win, I have to say, is my husband. I feel like I win every week with him, and I just needed to give him a shout out.
I love that. It's making me realize I need to write a thank you note to Justin because he lets me steal you on these afternoons and he looks out for
He's so
us.
sweet.
But
He's
yes, no,
so
he's been really supportive of our podcast. And
yeah,
yeah, and yes. I also have a supportive husband, but that
you
is
do.
not my win for this
Yeah.
week. Yes, they
Yeah, what
do
is the thing?
they do put up with our business things and
Mhm.
shenanigans and
Yep.
everything. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Well, what's yours for the week?
So I cleaned my office. I skipped
Yay!
a huge backlog of documents.
Good job. I'm so proud of you.
I found the fucking PO box keys. They were not in my office. They were. So I have. It's like a little shelf thing out there. Like it's like a built-in, and we have board games like and
Mm.
puzzles stuffed in the top and the bottom. And then I just have this like it's just the landing area. It has my purse, it has my like jewelry box and everything. The keys were behind the jewelry box in the
Hey,
back. So I was never going to find them until I moved everything around and tidied things up. So those things are done, and I am implementing a new project management system in ClickUp thanks to
yay!
Veronica. So that will be rolled out soon because I need to be working in it first before I give it to the rest of the team and
Fair.
expect them to do it. But yes, it felt very good to get organized and
I'm so proud of you.
yeah, that felt
I
good
love
to get
that.
done
I
this
love that you
weekend.
were like, this is my, like, I need to do better. And then you followed through.
I know we need to do that more often. I feel
Round of
like, but
applause.
yes, but it was partially just to get the money. That was the deal.
I think that's fair. That's
So,
fair.
yeah.
Sometimes money is the best motivator, you
It
know?
is very true. It is very true. Well, Tori, what is your do better for this week?
Um, I feel like I'm kind of tagging on to like some of the other things that I've talked about over the last couple of weeks, but creating realistic expectations for myself. Like week, I think it was last week or the week before, I talked about building in rest
Yeah.
into my calendar, and I'm
Mhm.
trying to be better at that and do a better job at that. But also just like setting realistic expectations of like what I can accomplish in a day and what I can't. I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
that's always been a constant battle of mine because my to-do list, I'm sure just like yours, is like a mile long. If you were to look at every single project I'm working on, every single thing I have to do, all the deadlines, and then all the things I want to do on top of that, like that list
Oh,
is
it's
so long, it's
insane.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so then I cut
Mhm.
that down into, okay, what can I actually accomplish today? What can I actually accomplish this week? And lately I've been a little unrealistic about what those things are,
Totally.
especially knowing that I'm trying to build rest into my
Mhm.
schedule. And so yeah, that was my long way of saying just being realistic about my expectations for myself, because
That's
I am
fair.
always harder on myself than my clients are. And my clients
Mhm.
I've never been late on a project. I've
Mhm.
never not delivered something. And if I've asked for like, hey, this is taking me a little longer, they're like, oh, I wasn't expecting it until next week anyway. You're fine. Like it's like I
Yeah.
always give myself the really hard deadline, and I usually build in room
To
anyway. I'm
wiggle.
never
Yeah.
disappointed. So like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I just need to shut the bitch up in my head who's yelling at me for no reason.
The Tory with the whip.
Tori with the whip needs to calm
Yeah.
her
Needs
tits.
to calm down. Maybe give her a feather instead of a whip.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what about you?
Oh gosh. So yeah, after getting all of that done, I just need an admin day. I feel like
Yeah.
I've fallen behind on a lot of things, like updating my QuickBooks and like just
Yep.
filing, digital filing. So like I did all the paper stuff in here. And so yeah, so it's now the tech stuff that I've got to get caught back up on. So yeah,
Awesome.
that will happen eventually.
You got
Okay, now I must know, what is your media content for the week?
Well, I had shout out this author like a month or two ago because I read another series of hers, and then I just started reading that. So I just started reading the Shadow and Bone series, and I
Nice.
already read the first book. And then
Awesome.
somebody I see for appointments, she
Mhm.
and I we talked about books because we always
Nice.
do. So she brought me the rest of the series to read.
Yay!
So I just started that second book, and I'm really excited.
Awesome.
And
What's
it's
that?
really just
Is it
like really
good?
fun, really good. Yeah. I love I love fantasy books. I love romantasy books. I love like dystopian books. Like I love all of that genre. But I
Mhm.
feel like lately that market's become so saturated that
Oh,
it's harder and
totally.
harder to find like really good
Quality.
ones
Yeah.
where the ones where you start reading and they suck you in. Like that's
Mhm.
what I'm always looking for, that high. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's fair.
And I love finding those again. So that's
Was
what I
that
like.
somebody Lindsay? No.
Lee
No.
Lee Lee Bardo. Lee
Oh,
Bardu. Oh my gosh, I have to look this up now. Sorry. I should know
no, it's
this because
okay.
I recommend the book. Lee Barduga. I think it's
Leave
something like
Vertigo.
that. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Listeners, you can look up the Shadow and Bone series, but I'm somewhere in that realm.
Nice. I love it.
Starts with an L. What about you?
I have been reading this book called Sociopath. I'm only like a couple chapters
Mm.
in, but she's basically writing about her life and her struggles with being a sociopath, like
Oh
lack of
wow.
empathy, destructive behaviors, being a little thief when she's little, being violent, like
Oh
talking about her
wow.
diagnosis. And like, yeah, I've
That's really
never,
interesting.
uh, it's been really interesting. And then she like launches a career as a therapist, like to help people through that. But yeah, so because I mean, we think about a lot of sociopaths as like serial killers or like people who
Wow.
do awful things who don't try to like understand what the fuck is wrong with their brains. And so yeah, so it's very interesting, but it feels kind of heavy at the same
Yeah.
time because it's like, oh,
It's a book that's
um,
harder to like binge through.
to
You have
binge
to like take
through.
breaks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It also doesn't help that I'm reading like five things at the same time right now. So, but that is my current media content that I'm
That's really
trying to
cool.
get through. Yeah,
What
yeah.
an interesting
Very
read. That's
different.
so cool.
Yeah.
You have to let me know how you like it at the end.
But yeah,
I
yeah.
might add that to my list.
Totally. Yeah, memoirs are, I feel like, an interesting one, especially when when we go back and forth between like fiction and nonfiction and things like
I
that.
read a really fun one.
Oh yeah.
It's called The Third Gilmore Girl. It's by
Oh,
Kelly Bishop. Is that her name? She was the actress in Gilmore Girls who was the grandma, Elizabeth.
okay.
And
Oh, I love
it's
that.
about her life. It was a really fun read. Like she's just such an interesting character, and her voice. And she actually, if you listen to it, she does.
Narrates it. Oh, I
Yeah,
love that.
which is it's great. That was a really fun memoir. And then I also read recently the one from Matthew Perry, which is a very different vibe. It's very sad read, but
Nice.
also like
Yeah,
a
but
a
good.
really good book. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
Um,
memoirs are very I have to be into the person or like into the
mhm,
subject to
mhm.
read it. But I do think they are really interesting if you find
Yeah,
some good ones.
absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, listeners, for tuning in with us again. We will be back next week with our final episode of
Believe
this
it.
season. So, catch us next week, and then we will be going on a little bit of a break, but we will probably have some surprise little nuggets to keep you busy
Yes.
between now and when we come back.
Yep.
So, bye for now.
Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Take the Leap podcast. Check out our show notes to connect with us and our guests. If you have questions about the episode or ideas for future topics, send us a direct message on Instagram or email us at aloha@taketheleap-today.com. If you're interested in being a guest, fill out the guest interest form on our website.
If you're a new entrepreneur who is looking for a roadmap to move your business idea forward, check out the Take the Leap course on our website, taketheleap-today.com. Members who join the course also have an opportunity to join us in bi-weekly co-working and group coaching calls to build momentum and work on your business.
And if you'd like a flavor of what we offer, sign up for our free webinar with the 9 essential steps you need to launch your business with clarity and confidence. See you next time.